Why did so many submariners die without ever seeing the enemy? Most people blame depth charges. They're wrong. For over a century, the deadliest threat on a submarine wasn't outside the hull. It was the engine meant to keep it alive. In this episode, you'll hear how muscle power, gasoline, steam, diesel-electric systems and early nuclear reactors each introduced a new way to die at sea. From the Hunley to Britain's K-class, World War I, U-boats, and the first nuclear submarines, this is the hidden cost of underwater propulsion, where one fix saved lives, but planted the seed for something worse later. The Hunley: muscle, candlelight, and asphyxiation. Here's what happens when your engine is your own body. In the American Civil War, the hand-cranked Hunley relied on 7 men, seated shoulder to shoulder, turning a shaft. No fuel, no flame, no exhaust, just muscle. But muscle meant a sealed tube where every breath withdrew from a tiny air bank. Air management was primitive. A candle burned as a gauge. When it dimmed, you were already late. Carbon dioxide doesn't shout. It creeps. Headache, nausea, tunnel vision. The men cranked harder, accelerating the oxygen debt. In that cramped cylinder, heat and breath turned the atmosphere into a slow poison. Flooding waited one mistake away. Imperfect hatches, leaking plates, no powered bilge pumps. You bailed with hands and buckets while your arms cramped from the crank. Then there was the weapon, a spar torpedo fixed to the bow, detonated underwater, and the shock travels through metal into flesh. Eardrums rupture, lungs bruise. You don't need a hole in the hull to kill a crew. Microstory: a crewman counts, turns to keep rhythm. The candle wavers. His palms blister. The crank bites deeper into skin. The explosion kicks the air from his chest. He gasps, but the air is already gone. The engine, his muscles, won't answer. Remove fire risk, and you didn't make submarines safe. You just moved the killer from flame to breath. The oxygen bill always came due. Gasoline, electric, fumes, sparks, and battery acid. The next leap paired gasoline engines on the surface with electric motors underwater. It delivered speed and range and welded volatile fuel into a sealed steel tube. Gasoline vapor is heavier than air. It pools invisibly in bilges. One leak, one spark, and the boat become a bomb. Often, it isn't a roaring blaze, but a flash that scalds lungs and strips airways in total darkness. Batteries added another menace. Charging lead-acid cells releases hydrogen. A spark in the battery well can throw plates and spray acid mist, burning eyes, skin, and throats. Worse, seawater mixing with battery acid can generate chlorine gas. You smell bleach, then your chest locks. In a sealed cylinder, there's nowhere for it to go. You are the filter. This became the defining pattern of early submarines. Every new system fixed yesterday's killer and introduced a deadlier one tomorrow. Crews turned into ventilation choreographers. Blowers, flaps, ducts, valves. One stuck check valve or misread gauge, and the atmosphere turned hostile. Microstory: a petty officer smells sweetness under oil, gasoline. He orders ventilation, kills electrics. A junior hesitates half a second at a switch. The contact arcs. A flat crack. Heat slaps face. They crawl blind toward vents, lungs flayed. The boat lives because danger was smelled early. A second later and it wouldn't. Range improved. Survival didn't. Unless discipline did. Steam at sea, Britain's K-class disaster. Britain chased fleet speed and put steam turbines in submarines. On paper, destroyer pace. In reality, funnels, boiler uptakes, trunking, all of which had to seal before diving. Miss one hatch and seawater hit red-hot boilers. Steam flashed, pressure spiked. Compartments vanished into white noise and darkness. Diving required a ballet, throttle back, secure fires, retract funnels, seal vents, engage motors. While the bridge screamed, "Dive under threat." Failure chains outran human speed. Human lens. You sprint a gauntlet of valves. Gloves slip. A roar builds behind you. Heat vanishes as freezing water slams your calves. Light dies. You count turns by memory because labels mean nothing in steam and panic. Chasing speed multiplied openings. Openings multiplied ways to die. Diesel electric, range, silence, and slow suffocation. Diesel electric submarines crossed oceans. On the surface, diesels breathed air. Submerged, batteries gave silence. But silence had a price. To charge batteries, you needed air, which meant exposure. Later, snorkels let boats run diesels just below the surface. In rough seas, a float valve slams shut. The engines keep pulling. For seconds that feel endless, the boat becomes a lung, with its mouth taped shut. Eardrums bow, chests beg for air. Exhaust backflow added carbon monoxide. Clean, odorless, treacherous. Judgment dulled, decisions slowed. Silent running made it worse. Fans off, pumps secured, air stagnated, CO2 climbed. You lay in your bunk, feeling heaviness. Press thought itself flat. A brain short on oxygen misses details. Details kill. Micro-story, North Atlantic, midnight, batteries low. The skipper surfaces to charge. Searchlights rip the dark. He orders crash dive. Blowers are secured to hide. Heat builds. Men pant through damp cloth. A watchstander forces himself to count seconds because oxygen isn't just air tonight, it's judgment. Diesel electric was a contract. Reach and stealth in exchange for fighting an enemy inside your lungs. Early nuclear boats, freedom from air, prison of heat. Nuclear propulsion severed the link between movement and oxygen. It solved the air problem completely and replaced it with heat, pressure, and physics that forgive no mistakes. A reactor drives steam through miles of piping. Temperatures and pressures turn pinhole leaks into cutting jets of white heat. Steam displaces oxygen. You can suffocate in a room that's technically full. A reactor scram kills fission, not decay heat. Lose cooling, and the plant cooks itself. Fires gain new teeth. Electrical insulation burns into dense, toxic smoke that blinds in seconds. Containment protects from radiation, but steals space. Passageways narrow. Firefighting becomes crawling past, blistering pipes, while ventilation prioritizes the plant before people. Radiation becomes culture, dosimeters, hot zones, trusting instruments over instincts. A hard shift for sailors whose noses once saved them. Micro-story, a whistle in the engine room. Suspected hot leg leak. The compartment goes white. Steam, heat stratifies, inches matter. A petty officer counts steps to an isolation valve through fog that peels skin. Metal closes. The whistle fades. The loop lives. Freedom from air arrived. It brought a prison of steam, smoke, and radiation. The human cost, body and mind. Across every era, the human toll stayed constant. Skin paid first, acid pinpricks, diesel rashes, steam welts. Sleep came in thin slices. Headaches narrowed vision. Fatigue stalked checklists. So crews built rituals, touch-counting valves, verbal repeats, buddy confirmations, small superstitions to anchor focus. The engine wasn't just machinery, it demanded tribute. Inattention, discipline, and sometimes lives. Synthesis, the dark trade, offs of propulsion. Muscle spared fire but starved crews. Gasoline brought range and poison. Steam chased speed and drowned boats. Diesel crossed oceans and quietly suffocated men. Nuclear freed submarines from the sky and trapped them with heat and radiation. Every gain carried a new way to die. Only training, culture, and vigilance kept the risks survivable. Conclusion. The engine that moves you can also be the one that kills you. If this pulled back the curtain on how submarines really killed their crews, subscribe to Echoes of War. This channel covers the war stories and engineering decisions history prefers to sanitize. Next up, the damage-control tactics that kept submarines alive after the first thing went wrong. Clear through line,